I want to talk about quickly this crazy project that you've got going at the moment. Mario is engraving a Harley.
Yesterday evening I got a message from lovely Camille from local radio to come for an interview. This morning I have managed to move my client till 11, and early in the morning I rocked up to Masterton to Aero Radio to have a chat. Hello there!
Good morning and welcome to my show, Everyday People. You are here with me, Camille, at 92.7 Arrow FM. Gosh, it's been some beautiful weather lately, and I'm really hoping that that weather is going to stay around, guys. So, and who felt that earthquake? It woke me up, but then I just went straight to sleep. I felt all good about it. So this morning, I have an amazing guest in the studio. I have Mario, who people may know as Inked by Mario and the owner of Constantine Studio. He is a fine line artist, dynamic, vibrant. He does amazing native birds, like dynamic, vibrant colours, I should say. I love the tattoos of his amazing, the native birds. He does guest spots all over the world, and he is an award-winning tattooist. Mario, welcome.
Hello.
Hello.
How are you guys doing?
Ahoy.
Ahoy.
I just learnt this before, how to say hello in Czechoslovakian, so that's actually quite cool. I feel like a pirate.
Yeah, pretty much. So, but we are landlocked, so
yes, absolutely. So, Mario, I first noticed you when I was working on the trains, and you would be doing a lot of drawing, and I'd always sort of like had a little look, and I think I spoke to you one time and realised you're a tattoo artist, and it was kind of cool, but also don't talk to tattoo artists when they're on their downtime, Camille.
It wasn't a downtime, to be honest.
Oh, yeah. So, so you have, as I said, you have the studio, Constantine Studio in Featherston. But what I'd like to know is, you obviously are not from New Zealand. You have an accent. I want to know, where did you grow up, and what was that like?
Okay, I grew up in a little village in Slovakia, in central Slovakia in the mountains.
Oh.
So, yeah, it was 1981. So when I was born, it was really, I don't know, it was simple. Lots of people look back and maybe would say that we were kind of backwards, but as a childhood, it was amazing. We spent all the free time in the mountains, skiing, running around.
Wow.
There was no, you have a holidays or weekend, mom kicks you out in the morning, okay, get lost, come home for lunch or be home by 7 and you disappear, and there's a myriad of kids running around, we were doing mischief, and I was free, I had a British client and he was talking to me about, the food, what they ate, and they all had cereals and things, and now we look at it like, oh yeah, that's a bit processed. All I ate was potato and cabbage, but we grew it. It was all homegrown, all from our gardens, no chemicals. It was kind of clean and pristine, and so yeah, we were under communist regime, but as a child, I can't really complain. It was the trouble started when you get to teenage years and you start rebelling and trying to have your personality, but the childhood was brilliant.
It was. So growing up under communist regime, was it noticeable, as in what would you notice to know? Was it statues or flags or rules?
The thing is that the regime fallen down in 1989, but nothing changed, just because a regime ends doesn't mean that everything changes. It's we are all Western, my parents, their parents, my generation, and you still end up living in the same mindset and same rules, and we might turn all democratic, but my parents don't see it that way, and it was strict rules, you guys have a short hair and all neat and tidy, women have long hair and are feminine, and I wanted to have a long hair, and my mother, even when I was 24 when I came back from New Zealand, and from about 14 years old, I was punk, listening to music, and always wanted to have a mohawk. So when I came to New Zealand, shaved the head, and when I came back home as a 25-year-old, my mother snuck from behind me with a massive shears And she gave me a plate of food. Hey, son, welcome home. Here's your favorite food. And I said, oh, thanks, Mom. This is too nice. I started eating. Next minute, somebody fondling with my hair.
No.
She chopped it all off because it was just unimaginable, And you might as well, having a different haircut to the norm was like having face tattoos. You suddenly hand up, hey, I don't agree with your norms, and and you get kind of pushed around by the society and people and all that stuff. So that was a bit different.
Yeah, we definitely had more freedoms here growing up then, absolutely. And, so we would moan about things like being grounded or something like that, when really we had it so good. So when you first came to New Zealand, so did you say you were 14?
No. I was 25-ish, 24, 25.
Yeah, and is that when you decided you were going to stay?
No.
Tell me.
I came here to pick apples. It was kind of funny because through the university, I always wanted to be living away from Slovakia.
Yeah.
And I had a connection to Montreal, and I tried to get I finished my master's, and I thought I can do PhD. But then I was in the communication with Montreal University, and they sent me all the paperwork, which was so cool. Like a big envelope.
Yeah.
And but it was like 10,000 Canadian dollars a semester, which was close to 250,000 crowns. It was like crazy. So that bailed. I found a job 2 months later. It was 1,000 kilometers away, and I felt really isolated. All my friends were away, and I lived in a tiny little village, something like Featherstone maybe, but by yourself, with no friends, with no connections. And then 2 months later, I was a bit shook, I suppose. And a mate of mine, he called me and said that himself and his girlfriend going to New Zealand, that they met someone who picked apples there.
Yeah.
I'm thinking, man, anything sounds better than being here alone. So I quit the job in the morning, went home. My mother almost ripped my hair off because in the old days, the government kind of told you what you're gonna do based on your marks, and you did it without questions until you're retired. You might be moving the ranks, but you kind of keep that thing.
Yeah.
And I quit the job, and you don't do that, so I was all freaked out. And then also she was very proud because I was the first one from the family to study university.
Yes.
And now, she probably told her friends, oh, my son is an engineer. He works da-da-da.
Yeah.
And I quit the job, and I was going to on the other side of the world to pick apples, work on farms. So,
that wouldn't make sense to some people. Yeah. But it does make sense.
Yeah, so she was pretty pissed off. But then I came here, 5 months in Hawke's Bay. And
beautiful.
Yeah, I had a good time. Loved it. And then didn't plan to come back when I went back to Slovakia, but a couple of things happened in next 2 weeks after arrival. I'm thinking, bugger this. And I borrowed some money before, but I worked like a demon, so I had enough money to pay my mother back.
Yeah.
And I had enough money to buy a fresh ticket to New Zealand.
Yeah.
But I had to spend 6 months away, because the rules were if you come here as a tourist, same time in New Zealand, same time away. So I spent 6 months back home and then come back to New Zealand 6 months later. And
you've stayed since.
Yeah.
You have gone home for visits, but you now live here.
Yeah.
Well, we're really glad about that. That's so cool. So I know that. So what a difference in growing up. So what inspired you? What were your inspirations? What was it that led you to, did you always know that you could draw, and how did that lead to tattooing?
I haven't drawn. The arts weren't particularly pushed during my education. Maybe we had some little hobby groups after the school, but I think the arts in the regime weren't, the government didn't want free thinking people. Exactly, so the arts weren't pushed, I suppose. That's just my perspective. I'm not saying it's correct. But when I came to New Zealand, suddenly you see people tattooed and the cultural references and stuff. Everybody, I worked construction, so everybody was tattooed.
Yeah.
And this was after we came from living in Thailand, and I've been exposed a bit of Thai tattooing there. And I got my first tattoos there. And when it came to New Zealand, I thought, I went to ask how much it would cost to get some work done. and I was still living in Slovakian currency, so it was unimaginable really to spend, you know, like $500 on a tattoo. You know, I couldn't spare $20. Not 500.
Yes.
And but my mindset was always do it yourself. You know, my partner says Slovakia is like New Zealand 30 years ago. You know, we might be in the middle of Europe, but 10, 15 years ago, because we were locked up, you couldn't get stuff, you couldn't buy things. So if I want to wear skinny jeans, I snuck up into my mom's bedroom and I got her sewing machine out. And I sewed all the seams in.
We did that here too.
I made my own patches. I painted all the logos of bands I liked. Friends of mine made their own hoodies because the hoodies didn't exist.
No way.
So we made everything by ourselves, you know. And so when I came here, I'm thinking, all right, I'll do it myself. So I didn't even realize then, but I'm real stubborn. And now the older I get and I look to my past life and experiences, I'm stubborn as hell and bullheaded. Just if I get something in my head, I either break, I kind of laugh. There's 3 outcomes: I succeed, I break, or I totally demolish everything around it and I leave it. But generally, I try to succeed.
Yes.
And I managed to, through contacts, buy a tattoo machine, and I haven't drawn. I never drawn except those few patches on the jacket, but I started drawing at the age of 27.
No way.
I went to tattoo shops and everybody told me to bugger off. And there was one guy who told me to, because I asked for apprenticeships and how it works. And, they said, nah, get lost, dude. And I was in Nelson asking, so my accent didn't really, I don't want to talk ill about Nelson, never mind. But there was a dude who said, hey, you need to draw, you need to have a huge portfolio of drawings and things. And so I bought pencils and started drawing. And we had no internet then, so whatever picture in a magazine I liked, I tried to redraw by hand, or I sat myself in a corner in a lounge and I drew what I could see in a kitchen, or the vice versa. And maybe the engineering background helped me to understand proportions and shapes and angles and whatnot.
Because you studied engineering, that's what you studied at university, yes.
And so maybe that helped, but I drawn for maybe 4 years, every break, every smoke hole, every, probably, you know, as people say, I don't know, 3-4 hours every single day, weekends, for 3 years, filled up books and books of drawings. And it was only until I got, for the machine, I tattooed my own legs to learn and practice. I tattooed maybe a handful of people if I met them here and there. And then it was only after I moved to Wellington, I went to every single tattoo shop with my drawings and stuff, and everybody kicked me out. So I found another job, engineering, for 2 years. And then after those 2 years, I got opportunity to go into a tattoo shop and start because I had a little bit of book of drawings and designs and some tattoos. So I was taken in as a junior artist.
Where was that?
The first shop, Sinatra's.
Oh, yes.
They had they were running just for a year.
Yeah.
And Kyle, the boss, he was looking for a new guy. So I wasn't going to go. I wasn't going to go.
Oh, hey.
There was a lady I knew who told me about him looking for someone. I said, nah. I've been to every shop and people were pretty rude and kicked me out. I'm thinking, okay, I don't want to do that again. But within the same week, I was at the construction site and I met an electrician fella with a full sleeve. Yeah. And I'm asking him, start talking tattoos. And he said, oh, Kyle did it. And he's looking for a guy in a studio. And I'm thinking, well, I'm not super superstitious, but if somebody slaps me twice in the same week, I'll go and check it out.
It's a sign. Yeah.
So I went and quit my engineering job and been plunged full deep in the water in the shop and just had to make it work. I had a good money. That was the best engineering job I had. Yeah. Good money, car, computers, phones, everything. Wow. And I dropped it just like that for get paid as many tattoos you do in a day. So
that's amazing. That's such a huge blindfolding yourself and just jumping and not knowing what will happen. Yeah. But what has happened has been amazing, hasn't it?
Yeah. And I wouldn't do it without a supportive partner.
Oh, yes.
If she, but we started our relationship based on saying yes and supporting each other's ideas, not to say, don't do it, that's stupid. If you're gonna do it and you wanna do it, we both said, man, we have the savings, do it.
Yeah.
Just give it a go.
So your partner, is she a New Zealander?
Yeah, she's West Auckland.
Oh, wow. She's a long way from home too, in a sense. Yeah. Westy. And so, because how did you meet your wife?
Oh, we met in Nelson in a backpacker.
Yeah.
So she was just leaving to Thailand to teach. She was a teacher, and she had enough of New Zealand. It was all rocky for her. So she was going who knows for how long. So she decided to do a final hike, enjoy some beautiful scenery. She went to do the Able Tasman. And I was living in a hostel. I was working at a Seyfried's winery. So we met one weekend when she was there, and then I worked the whole week. She was hiking all week, and we met the second week. We exchanged phone numbers and emails, and she was just patient because then I couldn't really speak the way I speak now.
Very good.
I was pretty damn bad, and she had a lot of patience.
Yeah.
To
teachers do.
Yeah. To talk, and then we met for another 3 days about 2 months later, and then because I said I don't like Auckland, and then she says, well, you haven't seen West, so and she also before teaching she was a tour guide up there, so she said, hey, you want to come along one day? I have a time, I'll show you around, take you to Piha, Muriwai, and all the
beautiful,
all the Bethels and whatnot. And so just 5 days before she flew to Thailand, I rocked up there on a motorbike in the rain, and she was living with the parents at the time because obviously she was leaving. So I rocked up to their house, and I had no motorbike gear, and so I was wrapped up. I had the sheets and sheets of newspapers under my jacket to try to keep warm.
Oh yeah!
And you rock up into their house, and you open the jacket, and all these piles of papers. They're looking at who the hell are you? What is this stuff? Yeah, and we kind of hung out for 5 days, and then she took off. And then on the airport, she tells me, "Oh, I love you."
Yay!
Handshake, like, yeah, right. Whatever, because we don't really do that even at home, I have never said it to my parents. My parents never said it to me. I saw my mom after 8 years, and they traveled to New Zealand first time in airplanes, and don't speak English, been on a massive airport, Singapore and stuff. And she comes home, come to New Zealand, absolutely tired, exhausted, and she just goes, "Hello, son." And gives you a handshake.
Wow!
Give us a hug, mom. Come on. But we don't do that, So for somebody tell you that they love you or whatever, it's like, well, even now, elaborate, it's a bit people say that so often, and I don't say it to anyone because I just don't love people. I love one person, and that word is reserved for them. I like people and I enjoy hanging out with people, but love is, to me, it's a very sacred, special thing.
I really like that.
So it's just it. But and then I was going to work on the ski fields. But that job fell through, and then Kira's parents said, "Hey, we have an empty sleep out. You want to hang out here? Hang out here."
They must have liked you to do that.
I cooked for them.
Oh, there we go. Food, yes.
So I found a job there, worked for 2 months, and then 2 months later I moved to Thailand, put all my savings into Kira's account, and brought my toothbrush and moved in. Say, "Hey, I'm here." And it was awkward, as you would imagine, spending only, maybe 8 days or over 5 months, and then 2 months break. And we can call it internet dating because we talked through messengers and emails.
Long distance,
And then we just broke up, but it was like, oh, hello, do we hug? Do we shake hands? Do we kiss? What's going on? Oh, shit. Then she always laughs that we gave ourselves a 3-year timeout clause type of thing, that in 3 years we will check in and say, "Hey, do you really want to still do this?" Or we just say we had good time, shake hands, and say goodbye. 5 years later, I'm like, oh damn, we forgot our 3-year stuff. Do you still want to keep doing this?
You still like me?
Yeah, kind of having fun. She's oh yeah, same. Yeah. It's gonna be 18 years.
18 years. Yeah. That's just amazing. And how you say you support each other, that is so important. Yeah. That is so important to have that in a relationship. I'm very lucky. My partner is so supportive as well. We are of each other. He's cricket mad.
Okay.
I'm not, but I support him in that, absolutely. And I like to talk to people, like, I only like talking to people on my show, but not really out there. And he's really supportive of that. Yeah. He does stand by and just sort of go, it's so cool. I'm so glad that what is your wife's name? Kira. That is so beautiful. So,
she's more of a partner rather than a wife.
Yeah.
Doesn't like that. Never mind.
I totally get that as well. Way to go, Kira. That's so cool. So, so you started tattooing and you obviously are very good at it. When did that lead to you going out on your own?
It was, I was 3 years with Sinatra's, then I got the opportunity to go and work in Tauranga with the guy who sold me my first machine, and he was kind of my idol at the time.
Yeah.
Influence.
Who was he?
Peppa from Bohemian Arts.
Nice.
I always dreamt about working with him. And then when he said, "Hey, mate, do you want to come along?" I thought, "Oh shit, yeah." He's an amazing artist, you know. So I thought, man, this is like a first step into the direction I wanted to go. And also at Sinatra's, all the guys were mainly doing black and grey stuff, and they are really amazing at it. But at the time, there was nobody wanting to go to the realism and the kind of viewpoint I did. Yeah. And also working with a fellow, his Peppa is from Czech Republic, so we have a similar viewpoints on the art and developments and how we see stuff. So we moved all our life there, and I just couldn't find any work. I was so busy in Wellington, and I was there for a month, and I did 2 tattoos. I even advertised before, and there was just nothing. So we call it a messy failure. Moved back to Wellington. I started booking up straight up, and Kira couldn't find job. Well, she had 2 part-time jobs before, and she dropped them because of me. And now they all replaced the people, and she just didn't know what to do and where to go. So we thought, bugger it. We always wanted to try our own, so we did it. We started the gallery custom tattoo in Wellington.
And that's when you would catch the train, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we had the shop for 5 years.
Wow.
Worked at it, had few artists, few apprentices, and 4 years ago we sold it.
Wow.
The shop's still running. There is a different owners. But it's still alive, still going.
That is so cool.
So it's cool.
And so now you have Constantine.
Yeah.
And that is in Featherston, isn't it?
Yeah.
So keep talking about that, definitely.
That's my so we started a partner's business, my partner and me, and we decided to take my grandparents' names. So from my mom's side, Perpetua was grandma, and Constantine was my grandfather.
Oh wow!
And I found those names very unusual. They were almost very uncommon. And I never liked them because I didn't fit the Slovakian fabric of names. Yeah. It was only when I learned English I figured out that the Latin and the backgrounds and that they kind of means the same thing. Perpetua, perpetual, it's always reoccurring. Constantine, constant, always there. And how the hell did they meet? And my granddad was man of all trade. He did from building to woodworking to pets to animals. He was a kind of all-skill man, and I can kind of try to live up to him. And grandma was a sewer. She was immaculate in making clothing, and the whole village was getting her stuff done. And Kira's business was all with silk and sewing and arts and stuff, so it all kind of fit the time. So
that's amazing. What I'm going to do, if you're lucky enough to be watching this right now on Channel 41 Wairarapa TV, thank you Toby Mills, I am going to put up, here we go, you will be seeing some of Mario's work, which is beautiful. This I love. I've got a mandala arm going on as well.
This is not me at all. I don't do this.
Don't you?
Nah, I don't do fine lines or nah.
But look, this.
I do realism, watercolor stuff.
Oh, look at that. Oh, Piwaka Waka. I love them. Absolutely love them. So there's some amazing. Oh, that one.
Mm-hmm.
So what I like about when you post up. I'll take that off now. When you post up about your things, you always say thank you to the person and thank you for the conversation or the laughs and that. And I really like that because you obviously really bond with people when you are doing that. Like my tattooist, Boo, will probably go, ugh, me saying this, but me and him have bonded from him spending so many hours tattooing on me, and you do have a bond with people. I think so.
I love it, because I spend 8 hours a day with every single person, roughly. And
wow.
To me, I got tattooed and I got tattooed here and overseas, and I have lots of people, and that's the thing, but they need to focus, they put earphones in and I just get into the work. But I really enjoy connecting with people and knowing who they are, and you see people on multiple occasions, so it's nice to know, when they come for a second session, oh, how's your kids? Did you manage to buy the house, or did you get the promotion? And you don't see them for a year or two, and you kind of forget, what happened, but they remind you, and thinking, oh yeah, I remember. Yeah. How did it all go? Oh, I got a kid now, and I got this, and and I, maybe I was gonna say I'm not spiritual, but we all grow up religious, and I know we've gone to church all my life. No, I don't do it now here in New Zealand, but that spiritualism maybe turns into the tattooing. I went one of those experiences where when I had some Samoan friends do my tattoo for me for my citizenship.
Oh wow.
So I went to the shop and I did like a tribal stuff on my leg, and I didn't want any stories. I just wanted to give my thanks to the cultures of New Zealand. So I said just do kind of snippets of different stuff. So I have a little bit of Maori, a little bit of Tonga, Samoa, Cook Islands, all the Pacifica kind of different things.
Yeah.
And when I was getting tattooed, they were tattooing there was a Samoan Saluape family, and they were doing two brothers, the traditional tattoo. Yeah. They were on the 9th day. And I went to see the process, but you had to get dressed appropriately. So I had to take your shoes off, lava. And you go there and you respect the artist, you respect the process of tattooing. Yes. Later on, they had some students come sing songs all day long, and you kind of just think, man, this is what I was already doing it without knowing it. Yeah. In my own stuff. Yeah. But it was nice to kind of reaffirm and kind of double down on the social and spiritual aspect of tattooing, really, because whether you believe it or not, my designs take a long time to do and design. So I do them the night before the session, but I think about it for a long time prior. I have consultation with people. You see them in person or over Zoom or whatever, and you talk about life or whatever. They tell you what you want, and then you think about it in your head. So you're already giving a lot of energy to that particular person. Yeah. And then you design it, and I don't keep any pictures on my computer. I always search for a brand new photos. I might reuse stuff if I feel fit for that particular brief. Yeah. But I always start from the scratch. Because I feel that the pictures, again, spiritual thing. I don't know if it's true or not, but I feel that it kind of drives me, I meet you, we talk, blah, blah, and then 6 months later when we have an appointment, I'm thinking, oh, okay, what I remember of you, and then those memories try to lead me, oh, this picture would suit you, and this picture of Tui, or this picture of a lion, or whatever, and I design it, and then you tattoo it, and you giving your energy. It's like when you get massage, the miri, all that kind of stuff. Yeah. You're giving an energy to the other person, whether it is through your fingers or through a machine. So I feel it's my responsibility to want to connect. I want to make the relationship. I want to know who I'm giving my energy to.
Yes.
And maybe that leads to I love my clients.
Yeah.
You see, I said the love word. But I really appreciate that people come in a shop and you hang out and you talk. I'm not saying we agree, right? Everybody ends up being best friends, but I feel that we can have opposing conversations, and I'm a different culture to New Zealand, and my viewpoints on today's world is, I think, very different to the general Kiwi. So sometimes we do clash, but people are generally kind of open, like, oh yeah, that's just you weird, that's fine. You know?
Exactly.
And
yes, that's such a good mindset.
And then you just go on, and then sometimes you have laugh, sometimes you have cry, sometimes you have shit happens and people still come, and you know they have a little sob and tear, and you just get on with it, and you chase. You have a quiet time. You know, we don't talk 8 hours a day. You know. Later on, when everybody's tired, you know, we all just get in the zone and get the job done. But I think that makes my work fun.
Yes.
The social aspect.
Absolutely.
I get out of the job and I don't talk to anyone. You know. When I go to my motorbike rides, you can ask people. I just sit there quietly on my motorbike, and people come to me and say, "Hey, bro."
Yeah. Yeah. Hey, look. So you've gone through that. You've done the apprenticeship. You worked in Wellington, and now you have the shop in. You've had the shop in Wellington. Now you have the shop in Beaverston. But it just didn't end there for you. I mean, it hasn't ended. What I'm saying is you have gone on to win awards, and not just like local, you worldwide. And I've seen, when I first started following you on Facebook, I think you were in New York. Talk me through that. That's crazy that you've ended up, like, you didn't even know you could draw until you're in your 20s. This is crazy that you've ended up being a guest artist. That actually blows my mind, even just saying it. Please talk me through that. Same
now when you're saying
it. Yeah.
You know, I always thought, well, I didn't know that it's gonna happen. I just even when I was at Sinatra's, I wanted to do guest spots, and tattooing is the one thing that it does allow you to get out. So I started with Australia. I started doing guests in Brisbane. I went there every year. And then I started doing more convention. I did a couple Aussie shows. And then I went to, I don't know, what was my first overseas show? Hong Kong or Singapore, I don't know. And that was crazy. Little Slovakian man from a tiny village of 1,000 people rocking up with the whole tattoo gear in Hong Kong. You know, what am I going to do? How am I even going to get from the airport to the hotel? And, just take my time, figure it out. I found some free buses where they do shuttles for the hotels. You jump in, and then the big shifts happened. I think 6 years ago, when I think everybody in the tattoo world, or maybe not everybody, but lots of people strive for sponsorship from companies. Yeah. And I was building a relationship with an ink company called Intense, and I believe they are one of the best ones, if not the best ones, but one of the largest manufacturers of pigment in the world.
Okay.
And 6 years ago, they picked 10 new artists from around the world, and I was one of them to be as a sponsored artist.
How did that feel?
Oh, amazing.
Yeah.
And I know, as my backstory, you know, because I started doing the watercolor stuff 12, 13 years ago, it wasn't exactly known style. Yeah. I don't know, maybe there was, maybe somebody can, you know, tell me that there were other people doing this kind of work, but I feel like I was the first one, or not the first one of the first people doing it. Yeah. And the amount of shit we got for it. You know, like, oh, what is this stuff? It's never gonna last, blah, 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 blah. And so much hate, so much. You know, you go to a convention and people just rip into you.
We don't listen to the haters. We don't listen to them.
You know, but I persevered. And then when you got your sponsorship and somebody from overseas says, hey, look at this guy. He's doing all right. You go like,
exactly. He did the fingers, by the way. But people didn't see that.
I was timing it. You know, but and then that opened doors. Like there is conventions which are invitations only, and you apply for it. But they have a select group of people. That's what lots of people don't realize. I think that lots of these shows they need to uphold the standard, and they only get the right amount, the right people in there. And unless you have a backing, or you have you don't have to have a backing, but if your portfolio is amazing, then they always do scrutinize your work, and they're gonna get the talents in there. And but having a sponsorship helped a lot. So these days I just, hey, can I go to this show? And they say, yeah, of course, yeah, here's a booth. Like, oh, you still pay for it, but but at least you can go. And then start doing, I was just thinking about it, I think last week, because I got emails about New York show again. I'm thinking, awesome. Should we go in November? I'm thinking, man, you only dreamt as a little... When you watched Beverly Hills 90210 as a teenager, when the first American stuff came to Slovakia. We're just watching, what is this world?
Yes.
And next minute, when I was in LA working there, I had to go to a freaking beach to see those blue things.
Yes.
So I was calling, hey, Mitch Buchanan, are you home? I don't know what Pamela Anderson's name was in the show.
Yeah, I can't either.
Like, where are you guys?
Wow.
I'm really here. I had to go and touch it, like, holy shit.
That's unreal.
Little Slovakian man is running around stage.
Yeah.
Man, it was ridiculous.
That just must be amazing, the size of these conventions as well. They must be like massive. And you're meeting artists of the same caliber, and you're just all amazing. Like, I follow a lot of tattoo artists on social media and that, and I'm always just blown away by your stuff, blown away by many things and new techniques and stuff like that. I love seeing new techniques coming out and new things that they're doing, and it's like, why didn't anyone think of that years ago? It's just
technology changes, everything moves forward. The biggest show I did was last year, and we were just coming from New York. I did 2 shows there, and then I was home on a plane, and the boss of the ink company messaged me, hey dude, do you want to go to represent the brand in Brazil? And I'm just, when is it? Next week? Shit. Let me check. I have to go through. I was booked up for work here.
Wow, yeah.
I'm thinking I'll have a look at my finances. I still had to pay for flights. I didn't have to pay for a booth because I was part of the company. I still get the flights there. And it's, Wellington, Auckland, Santiago de Chile, and then Sao Paulo and back. So I managed to clear the schedule. I worked, I think, 6 straight days here, and then flew to Brazil. I had half a day off, then 3 days convention, then half a day off, and then flew back home.
Oh, wow.
And the convention was monstrous.
Was it?
The biggest scale, the displays, the amount of companies, that was ridiculous. And you also don't see often the South American culture, and I feel Brazilian Portuguese are really, they speak Portuguese, but they are really proud, and they don't really go out into the world. So you are coming into this almost closed community, and when you see the inks, the machinery, the stuff, the artists, and funny thing was that I was the first day I didn't tattoo, second day I did a couple little ones, and then the third day I did like a big full day session. And the guys, the Brazilians, they had their clients, they were tattooing, they were coming to me asking me, dude, what do you think about my tattoo? I said, why are you asking me, dude? Look at your stuff, it's mine, it's crazy. Said, you think it's okay? I said, are you nuts, bro?
That's humbling.
I said, why are you asking me? And then when I was tattooing, I was doing like a big, I did that kind of pink, blue face with the double eyes. Lady.
Yes.
And everybody was coming in, holy shit, man. That's crazy. And I was just, okay, like, thanks.
That is so cool.
So it was awesome, it was tight, and then come home, day off, and then back to work. But, I loved it. I would go again for longer.
Yeah.
So I could
it's a beautiful country.
Have a look at it.
The culture.
And I had and I made the friends, we don't speak a single word to each other. But suddenly I had 15 more friends.
Yes.
And they were just so welcoming, so kind. It was very cool.
It's just absolutely amazing. So from that we've just gone through your journey of tattooing in a sense, which I think is amazing. We've got 5 more minutes. I want to talk about quickly this crazy project that you've got going at the moment. Mario is engraving a Harley. Like, people be like, what does that even mean? Tell us what it is. I wonder if I can find some while you're talking. Keep talking.
Okay, so I started building bikes about 3 years ago. 4 years ago, and this project is my third Harley I'm building. They are all 1970s Sportsters.
Yeah.
All the little sporty Harleys, and I started doing them because I was missing getting my hands dirty. You know, engineering and kind of fiddling with stuff was my job.
Yeah.
Whatever. And then when I started tattooing, I just needed a different outlet, and I love motorcycles. Even now I'm here on a bike, but I started learning how to fix them, build them. You can look at the.
I don't know if I can find it. That's the bum out thing
it's
right
called
now.
Wrenching irons.
Wrenching irons.
Yeah, and either Instagram or
YouTube.
Or YouTube. Yeah, I don't know, short videos you might see.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I wanted to, because all the first two little Harleys I built, I kept everything as original as I felt I want to do it. I didn't touch the engine or frames, but this new project, I'm going full out everywhere, everything. It's just what I want to know, what I want to do, I'll do it. I change everything, cut everything, weld everything, and
I'll put this one on.
Doing this engraving, just bringing a little bit of more.
So this is Mario. People who cannot see this, too bad. See, look at that. That's amazing.
Taking a long time. It's about
How long ago did you start?
Doing 2 forks and these 2 covers took me probably 60 hours so far.
Wow.
And I still have another probably 100 hours to go.
Yeah. Oh, that is amazing. I'm gonna pause that and then we'll go back. That is just a quick little look at that. I don't even know what to say right now. I just wanted to watch that. That's what you're doing.
Yeah, it's nice to again. The tattooing probably helps too, because people struggle keeping lines straight, and it's a very tricky process and very slow process, very controlled.
And you made your own engraving machine?
Yeah, build it up.
Engineering, of course.
You know, you can learn everything on YouTube these days. So I watched a few videos and I modified those videos and I made some my own adjustments, and then I bought some cheap parts from AliExpress. They all broke down. So I think 6 months ago I bought a little mini lathe. So I made my own parts to fit inside these things, and now they work fine. So it all kind of working fine together.
No, that's amazing. That is amazing. So, right, we've come to the end of our time, and our time on the show. Mario, thank you so much.
My pleasure.
Really interesting story and inspiring as well. You can find Mario on inkedbymario on Facebook. Instagram, and his shop is Constantine Studio in Featherston, which is going to be easy to find because Featherston's not that big. No. So honestly, I thank you so much for coming in and sharing your story. That's just been awesome. Thank you so much. I love these stories. I love that I get to do this, guys, and you guys all know that as well, because I keep going on about it and I will never stop. You cannot make me. I'm now going to play local band The Dead Zephyrs with their song Hong Key. Oh, guys, that's the Dead Zephyrs with their song Hong Key. I honestly thought it was about my Honourable John Key, and I looked at it closely and I was like, yeah, nah, Camille, you can get your brain sorted some days. You're listening to 92.7 Arrow FM. You're here with me on my show, Everyday People. We have just been chatting with the super freaking talented as F, Mario, the amazing tattooist who's just amazing, absolutely amazing, who's done guest spots all over the world, award-winning tattooist who just has his studio in Featherston. Like, this is so cool that this guy chose our country to live in and we've accepted him, like, because that's what we do, as a nation. This is freaking cool. I'm really hyped up about that conversation. Very, very cool. Hearing that journey as well. Imagine not realising that you could draw until you're in your 20s. Do you know what? I think I might be able to draw. I'm going to have a go. And I go, no, stick figures, that's probably it. I could get a job at Pack and Save. Oh, guys, thank you so much for joining me today. I've really enjoyed my time with you. I hope that you have enjoyed that as well. Isn't it cool how I've worked out how to mirror the computer on the TV screen now so you can see pictures as well? We'll be doing more of that. That is for damn sure. Thanks, guys. Look, love ya and leave ya.